The Grin. The room was drenched in shadows, looming over the solemn shape in the corner. As the curtains flung from its keep, the wind broke the solitude of whoever remains. The flicker of light draws a burdened face, caressed by the moon's light-hearted touch, despondent but eager for change. The doldrum bells strike midnight, and the traveller is once again at arm's reach, from the chair clutched by men who have lived but never loved anything but himself. As the scuttlebutt of multitudes whisker about, this dark man and his companion, the devil has a name, and it is Richard Mulgrave, the man without a soul, left alone in his grievance. "I take it you are here for your reward," said the devil, in the corner of the room, the traveller cloaked in daggers piercing the heavy air. The ambience of darkness and despondency, a far cry from the man who had everything, but no one at the same time. Filling the void with pretty things, stockpiling the dead for kindle to the fire. Not even a breath is spared to give him comfort. Only his rusty heart slowly pounding away, with the bells in the tower beyond the hill, holding their Luna atop its highest peak. The companion enters, and the floor gives way in the creaking steps of a weary, stalky thing, not of this world and not of the next, but somewhere in between, the shadows unseen. "That was the arrangement there, Richard. I gave you all you desired. Your revenge, your power, you're beholden to me." Richard clenches the chair so the upholstery would tear if it wasn't so sturdy. Break it like everything else, but it was different this time. The once so fearsome man, who killed and raped and drank the blood of babies, who cuts heads to roaring applause, who tasted flesh uncooked from the bone in the screams of his victims. This was all he wanted, to be a terror, to be feared, to take things that was never given. Even when he wanted to, he needed the taste of submission. It gave him pleasure to eat their eyes, to rip the ribs from men who cried blood, as his minions ravaged their daughters, their spouses, who dripped acid on their limbs and tore them apart from bone. No limits was his mode of operations, but without limits there would always be another step, and he jumped 10 at a time, at every interval between, because he could not feel without the pain of others. The room is filled with ghosts, echoes in the stained walls of blood, shackles, bodies buried beneath, defiled even in death. His hunger unmatched for the taste of power over all things, brought into this world a broken man even as the infant. Blight murmured atop a withered black rose riddled with thorns. Now Richard has nothing but the companion, his only friend intertwined in birth, contorted into this figure before him, his friend whispering from the shadows. He reluctantly escapes the chair, the shadow towering before him, his twin in the dark. He cannot see it, but he feels the Grin, always at arm's reach. The chapel on the hill is their destination. Howling winds at all sides, scraping the naked trees around them, whipping down by the weight of the borealis, northern winds from the mouth of their Luna. He howls before he opens the door, a wolf, a beast, not a man no more. There he stands beneath a tortured man, his image made real, the martyr hanging on the cross. Richard knows the destination as his shadow companion rests at the altar. He bows his head and clenches his fist into one bony white knuckle, grey from tear and old age. As he looks up, he scrapes away the dust and the cobwebs from the shadow prepared to give his reward to the dark. "I am the devil," says Richard, "and all he can see is the Grin looking back."